So I've always hated the corrugated truck bed liner. I know it's there to channel water out and keep your tools lifted and dry, but stuff slides around awkwardly on it and it's painful to crawl around in there. When I did my truck bed remodel, I put a wooden floor down first thing. But I failed to mention in that video just how I'd done it. I think a wooden floor is beneficial in any truck bed because it makes it much easier to move around in there and you can attach things to it and build things off of it. It just gives you a world of options. So in this video, I'm going to discuss real quick how I made the wooden floor for my truck bed. That's coming up next on the Honest Carpenter Show. I'll note here that I used untreated 3/4 inch plywood for my floor because I have a cap on my truck. If you don't have a cap on your truck, you probably want to use treated plywood and drill weep holes in it to let water run out. Otherwise, the process is pretty much the same. So to start off, what makes this project difficult is the wheel well. It's oddly shaped and it varies in size by truck. So you'll have to shape your floor around your particular wheel well. But it's not that hard, so I'll show you an easy way to do it. Most every truck bed is wider than 4 feet. So you can't just use a single sheet of plywood with notches cut out. You'll have to use 2 sheets turned sideways and butted against each other. I started with the one sitting farthest back. I cut it to an overall length that would fit easily between the walls, about 53 inches here. And I left this sheet at full width, which is always 4 feet, and that just naturally brought me out to the front of the wheel well. That's just kind of a lucky thing in these older Tacoma models. Notches like these wheel well cuts tend to be intimidating for DIYers, but you can break them down with pulled measurements and just some simple layout techniques. For instance, I just pulled from the back wall to roughly the leading junction where the wheel well meets the side wall. That measurement in my case was about 10.5 inches. Then I pulled another measurement from the back wall to the tapered, extended corner of the wheel well. That was about 17.5. And while I have the tape out, I pull all the way to the front corner of the wheel well, and I line up by eye to the front point where it meets the side wall. These numbers give me 41.5 inches and 48, which is, as I said, the natural edge of the board. Finally, I get over the top of the wheel well and pull a tape from the side wall to see how far out it extends, about 5 3/4. And in all these measurements, I leave about 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch of play because the bed liner is curved. I drew all these measurements onto a scrap piece of wood. Then I laid them all out onto a full sheet of 3/4 inch plywood and cut it with a jigsaw. I didn't get a shot of that process, but I did get a shot of the trapezoid piece that I notched out. That's just the waste cut. I'm using it now as a model template for the other side. I just flipped it over and traced it. Notice where the leading edge of the template is, about 10.5 inches back from the corner of the board. That lets me know I'm making a mirror image of the other side as I trace it. I cut that notch out as well, then slid the board into the truck for a test fit. I was comfortable with the parameters. Dust could fall into the sides, but I could just vacuum it out. Now, I had decided that I actually wanted to lift the whole floor up just a little bit off the corrugated bed liner. I just figured that if water managed to get down there, I wanted a small extra layer of air between the wood and the plastic. So I cut strips of wood out of treated 2x4s. I just made them wide enough to fit between the rails and tall enough to give another 1/4 inch of lift. And I spaced them out by about 8 inches to a foot. These pieces gave me a second, even more important function because they gave me a way to join my 2 boards together. I'll show that in a second. But I cut my second piece of plywood by just measuring from the edge of the first one to the inside of the gate. That was the width in this case, and the length was the same 53 inches as before. That piece would have been a simple rectangular cut, but I had these swiveling tie downs for connecting straps to, and I really didn't want to cover them up. So I incorporated these scallop cuts for clearance. I basically just swiveled the tie downs to find their total path of travel. I added about 1/4 inch for wiggle room and marked these perimeters with straight lines. I then hand sketched an arc for the corner and cut the notches out with a jigsaw. This way I would always have access to those tie downs if I was trying to strap down longer stuff into the bed of the truck. With the boards in place, I used some simple 1 1/4 trim head screws to attach everything. I drilled down through the plywood into the wooden spacers at various intervals. So the spacers sort of acted like joists for my 2 boards. I actually did a whole video on trim head screws, and I think they're great, so check that one out if you're unfamiliar with them. I also added this spacer at the very front to keep stuff from blowing in there, and to give a little extra support at the lip. Everything in here could be unscrewed in a matter of minutes, but it would also come up as a whole sheet if I lifted it. That was it. The whole thing took about 2 hours, had maybe $75 worth of materials in it, and I got this smooth, nice surface to lie on or set things on. And as I said, the greatest part is that you can build off of a wooden truck bed floor. Any configuration of shelves or storage that you want is possible. Nothing really wants to move. It's all held in place really well by gravity. It's such a good upfit whether you're camping or just working out of it. I've done it in every truck I've owned. That said, what did you think? Would you do this to your truck? What would you use it for? Let me hear about it down in the comments. I'm going to link a few tools from this video down below. I pretty much just use a circular saw, jigsaw, drill, and tape measure. So I'll link those and some fasteners as well. Feel free to browse them. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to check back in for more videos coming up soon. And please consider subscribing and hitting that little bell button to turn on notifications. That way you'll know the moment we post something. I'm Ethan James with TheHonestCarpenter.com. I'll see you next time.